Bullpen has been outstanding. Emmanuel Clase, the guy they traded Corey Kluber for, probably the elite closer, certainly in the American League. And Karinchak, if they have him right, the 8th and 9th innings are pretty well taken care of.
Emmanuel Clase in the big leagues has an ERA of 147. 147. And a thing I look at is home runs, because, that's one thing that could kill you. As a starter, home runs aren't that big a deal because a lot of times they're solo shots and early in the game or whatever. I remember Jim Palmer, when I was covering the Orioles in 79, he would give up a fair amount of homers. He said, I didn't worry about it. I just put up my hand, give me another baseball. That's fine. You can't do that when you're a closer usually. So he has given up only 7 homers in 165 innings in his career.
Yep.
And that is just remarkable. And he doesn't walk anybody. He walks 1.7 per 9 innings, and he strikes out 9. You would think he would strike out more with that, but a lot of times those guys are making contact. They just beat it to the ground. He's been phenomenal. I mean, and then he signed this contract to take care of things. And he was a guy, too, that knew, okay, maybe I'm not going to get paid as much in the long run, but I got security. I got a family. I got all this. So he was one. Karinchak is, he had a 2.08 ERA. He pitched only 39 innings. He did have arm problems in spring training. He's got great talent. I have a hard time trusting him, but I can't argue with the numbers.
Yeah, no, I get you. But I mean, you think about it. If you can use him in the 8th and Clase in the 9th, and you've got that, at least your first 3, you're in pretty good shape. That's 60% of your games where you've made it basically a 6-7 inning game.
And also, if they can't go, I think between Hentges and Stephan, both of those guys, ERAs around 250, that is really a good place to be. Stephan has developed this split finger. That's a guy they picked on the Rule 5 draft from the Yankees. Hentges, I remember when I saw him in spring training and he's this young lefty. He's throwing he's a high school pitcher. He's throwing it all over the place. He's walking guys. I'm like, they keep telling me he's a prospect. I just don't see. He didn't throw any strikes. And finally, they put him in the bullpen, and he figured it out. And there was an old John Hart saying, and he did this with Danny Baez and a couple other pitchers. And Jose Mesa was another one. If you guys got a good arm, he can't make it as a starter, just stick him in the bullpen and give him 2 pitches. Make it simple. And that's what they did with Hentges. And now you look at him as a lefty, he is a real weapon coming out of there. So even if Karinchak were to falter, they have those 2. Sandlin's a pretty good pitcher. He keeps having some arm problems. He has some control problems a little bit last year too. But I do like Sandlin. And a guy that is really underrated was De Los Santos. He was 5-0 with a 3.04 ERA. So they've got a lot of guys. I love Cody Morris, by the way, whether it's a starter or a reliever, but I'm very high on him. And I think that he can be effective in either spot. The Guardians think 2 guys, they're a little ways away, but could end up as starters maybe midseason or later on. One was Logan Allen, not the Logan Allen that was here and let go, but they had a Logan Allen that they drafted a couple of years ago. I think this one's Logan T. Allen. And then a guy named Curry. So those are some names to keep an eye on.